Hello, DC Comics. Stay classy, everybody. We got Adam Hughes today, an artist who's pretty talented, unfortunately, really showing his Trump derangement. And, of course, he's doing the typical thing where he's playing around with things, calling people names and the like, and but not directly. So you can go, oh, if you identify with this, you really just self-told on yourself that you are a Nazi. Because this is how they like to passive-aggressively do things. It's a gamma male sort of thing. A lot of artists in the comic space are gamma males, and this is just another example of that. But yay, you stunning and brave Adam Hughes called everybody Nazis, which we're going to get into in a moment. And he got a lot of pushback. I helped add to that this morning because it needs to be done. We should always push back on this type of thing because these people need to know it's not acceptable. And we're not just going to just like buy their product and consume more product when they treat us like dirt. And they hate us, and they want us dead, clearly. Because if they, you're calling somebody Nazis, you do want that other person dead. I mean, if you're that adamant about it. So this is exactly what's going on now in the comic industry. More par from the course for crazy DC Comics people, to be expected. And we'll get into the news in just a moment. Smash the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things comics in the comic culture. Thank you guys for being here. And I also am a comic creator, and I don't hate you. Even if you are a Kamala Harris voter and the like or whatever, I want you to buy my book. Isn't that refreshing? I didn't. If you don't like my politics, don't buy it. No, the opposite here, because I think you'll enjoy this book no matter what. I try to write books for everybody, and this is a Space Marines book. The Emerald Array are the elite of the Space Marines in my Terran Imperium, and they are faced against demonic space entities who are threatening an entire colony world as they're dispatched by the Emperor of Humanity to try to save everyone. It's a beautiful book, and every single male Space Marine is male. There's no female Space Marines in my world because we are pushing back against that sort of thing right here. You're going to love this. It's got a classic art style. If you like the old Jack Kirby stuff, what I try to do is bring things back storytelling-wise and art-wise to something from the 70s and 80s. I don't like modernism whatsoever, and I want to get to a point in an era in comics before all this weird woke stuff permeated things. And so that's what we try to bring to you. And so we bring something completely different than everybody else out there. It's beautiful. It's going to be a fantastic book. And check it out. Thank you guys so much for supporting this so far and making this a success. It's in the description below. I appreciate you for being there and appreciate you for backing our comics and supporting our channel for everything we do. Independent comics is where it's at. So Adam Hughes posted this, guys. Updated his cover photo with this Wonder Woman against the literal Nazis. Yay. Kamala's a Wonder Woman. So this was a fun exercise. Facebook wouldn't let me post it while it featured the full swastika. Good for Facebook, except for context is everything. It is pretty ridiculous censoring certain things and all that. It's not good for Facebook. It's ridiculous. And as an artist, you should be offended by that. You shouldn't say good for Facebook just because you can't even draw your own thing on there because it triggers a few people out there. That's insanity. And that kind of censorship's what by big tech and, of course, by your industry, DC and Marvel Comics, pushing that same agenda is what's ruining art and what's ruining culture. This is why we stand out of this stuff. Speaking of context, it's never okay to be a Nazi. Oh, wow. Stunning and brave right there. Please clap for Adam Hughes, everybody. I don't know literally any Nazis or National Socialists of the German, Reich or whatever. I don't know if any exist anymore at this juncture. When was that the Nazi Party a thing? We're talking like 1940, so we're talking 80 plus years ago. I mean, I guess there's a few of them still alive. I guess, they'd be in their hundreds at this point, or if they were Hitler Youth, maybe in their 90s. Cool. To support a Nazi, to admire Nazi ideals or accomplishments. So Adam Hughes doesn't like Mercedes-Benz. Again, these people are so ridiculous. The demonization of people, I'm not even going to bother. These people are insane. And so help me God. And I guess Adam Hughes is Jewish because of the way he types that, because that's usually how Jewish people type things. Interesting that. And so help me God to vote for a Nazi. Oh, and so of course, you're supposed to understand that Donald Trump is literally a Nazi. That's what this is supposed to be about. It's like roll your eyes. And frankly, it's incredible that we have to say this in this day and age. Guess what, Adam Hughes? You did not have to say this. You could have just shut up, drawn your freaking Wonder Woman crap, not worried about it, and not just been so obnoxiously gamma male and so obnoxiously anti-American. Because your little rhetoric has caused a lot of problems. And if you want to look at all this stuff for real, here we are. But here we are. That's always a sign of a gamma male. I didn't want to do this, but I need attention anyway, right? And so there are no promises of tax breaks, inflation remedies, border protections, or any other governing policies that will ever justify supporting a Nazi in office. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. I get it. You personally attack everybody by calling them Nazis. Yes, you're stunning and brave. But shouldn't you literally vote based on what policies are from the government and not some sort of personal thing? Isn't that kind of what? Okay, because you're making it sound pretty. Tax breaks, inflation remedies, and border protection. Okay, I'm in. Or a Nazi regime in the United States of America. Remember, kids, Nazis are the bad guys. Vote accordingly this coming week. Oh my gosh, this is just the most painfully insufferable statement I've maybe ever seen. It's very, very wild. And it just shows how unhinged all these people are. This is exactly who they hire at DC Comics, and you have to do this. If you're at Marvel and DC, this is your attitude. You have to be like this. You have to try to blacklist people who vote otherwise. You have to hate people who these are hateful people. They're the bad guys. They're Nazis. They're literally people who should just be destroyed in a comic booky, cartoony fashion. These people get so inside their own drawings because Adam Hughes. This is how these people act, and this is why artists are so insane half the time. They sit there and draw for 12, 14 hours a day with they're hunched over at a table. No social human interaction. And it shows. They just get inside their own heads to where they come up with these crazy things that are just not even in reality. And then the only time they ever get out is at conventions like this, where they get worshipped by people who go, "You drew Batman's dick once. Wow. Will you sign my picture? Thank you." And that's the only time they ever have socialized. So they really think they're they're arbiters of morality and they're gods. It's really very weird. And you could see this everybody's bad guys who doesn't vote the way I want, and that it's never okay. I hate this is hateful bigotry, Adam Hughes. You are literally a hateful bigot, and if people are literally that means the example of if you extrapolate this, you're saying that it's okay to kill your political opposition or punch them or threaten physical violence or hate them. And all because they don't, they're literal Nazis, which nobody's ever said this. There's nobody out there who's going, yes, I am pro-Hitler and I want to do that. There's nobody who's doing this. And so when you do that extreme sort of thing, it's really, really creepy behavior, Adam Hughes. And it shows how evil you are. But he gets blown out in the comments. I just said exactly why I'm voting for Trump against the National Socialists. Thanks for the reminder. Leftism has become a festering wound on this society. Pretty cool art. I'm just here to see how many people can recognize a Nazi. Okay. And then, you get a couple of these that are for this. But for the most part, you get a lot of stuff saying, I'm voting for President Trump. And, he's getting some pushback on here. Regressive defenders of fascism out in force today. Trump is not a Nazi and you know it. And so it's about 50-50 on here. And again, this is his audience on Facebook. So you're insulting 50% of your customers, bro, by doing this as a representative of DC Comics. Just stop. And stop being so insane. Come on the show, Adam Hughes, and stop. Let's have a dialogue. How about that? Is that what Nazis do? Nazis have dialogues. Nazis have debates. These people are insane. Oh, well. But at least we've got an alternative now, guys. So please back the Emerald Array on Fund My Comic today. You'll love this. We're fighting space demons. They're not even humans, for real. And so everybody can enjoy this, no matter what your political persuasion is. And I appreciate you all for being there. Grab this, support our channel, support our efforts in our because we need an alternative to Marvel and DC. This is it, guys. We're coming out with graphic novels, hopefully every quarter from here on out. And so we're going to be pushing and, of course, really making that culture change. This is the right spot to be. I appreciate you for being here. Hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment with what you think about Adam Hughes' statements. We'll be back soon.